Well, good news and bad news. I'm not sure really where to begin, but there used to be a greenhouse right over here somewheres, and there used to be a mobile home up there on that concrete pad, and no one knows where the septic tank is. But my theory is that it has to be downhill from where the greenhouse was. Because the greenhouse was the original building on this property. There's two properties here. So, there's the property line for this property. Just this side of the creek. This is a long 10, and the other one over there is a long 20. But together, it's 30 acres. Just shy of. Anyway, so we just started owner financing this property. And I already explained all the drama that's attached to it, but one of the problems is that the septic tank is backed up. So we thought. My theory was that when they demolished this greenhouse, that they damaged the septic tank, and because it's backed up, or at least the line is. We don't know where the septic tank is. Could be anywhere. Could be over there, but I doubt it. But it could be. So we're gonna go over there and walk around. I've done a few things to try to unplug the septic, and I put snails, not the hard-shelled snails, but the soft-shelled snails. So whenever they die, their shells will break down and deteriorate. I put yeast down the line to break up and eat up some of this gunk. This spring, this thing was full of water, and that was backing up. So it was water from the rains, all the rains that we had, and then partly the sewage being backed up as well. So it's plugged up right there somewhere. Now, there's a pipe over there, and I don't know where it goes. And they had a camper over there for a while, George and Valerie, not the original owners, but the original owners that I knew. And they had a camper over there, and I believe that that line was for that camper. And it obviously goes into the septic as well. So the septic was originally for that house. They tapped into it here for the mobile home, and then they also tapped into it over there for the camper. But this one's backed up. But I've been running water down this one for the past hour, and it's still flowing. It's not backed up. Water's not coming out of there. It's still going. I don't know where the water's going, but it's going somewhere. And that's what I'm trying to find out now. So I thought, well, maybe it was connected to this pipe here, but I think this pipe is brand new. I think this pipe these guys installed when they put in that mobile home, and they poked a hole in the wall there to run this into there. And that pipe down there was for the mobile home that was here. And then that pipe over there goes somewhere else. I don't know. So it's plugged up somewhere between here and the septic tank, because that one's still flowing. And I'm assuming that there's only one septic tank. Just nobody knows where it is. So now I'm just leaving the water run so I can overflow the septic tank so that I could potentially find out where it is. So it's been dry. The ground is dry as a bone. So when it overflows and I find a wet spot, then I'll have an idea where the septic tank is. I really seriously doubt it's over here, but it could be. I'm pretty sure it's over there. So we thought the septic tank was trashed because it was backed up. But now it appears that it's not backed up. It's just got a plug in that line that they had tapped in to the other line that was tapped into the septic tank, wherever the septic tank is. So now I just got to find the wet spot. And we may be able to fix it. It may not cost us $15,000, $20,000 like we thought it was going to cost. So once I find the leach lines, once they flood, and I find the leach lines, then I'll have an idea where the septic tank is. If it's over here, or if it's over there. But this grass is pretty green over here. This could be where the leach lines are. But I don't know. We'll find out. So that might save us some money. We've had a lot of problems with this. These people did a lot of half-ass work to this property. I should take note of every truck that goes by here, because that's also a potential trucking company that I could be working for. But anyway, maybe I'll set up another camera down here just to identify all the trucks that come by here. So I'll make a list of what trucking companies I might want to put an application in for. But anyway, we upgraded our security. We got security camera up here. We got a security camera up there. We got security camera over there. We got another one up on the porch. And we got one more that we're going to put somewhere. We just haven't figured out where that is. So, yeah. So, maybe the septic tank isn't damaged like I thought it was, and isn't ruined like I thought it was. It might just be that it's got a plug over there in that one spot. So once we get the property in our name, then we'll have somebody come out and fix it. But we have about 2 months. We ended up lawyering up. We had a lawyer before, but they weren't on retainer. We had 2 lawyers we were consulting, but they weren't on retainer. Now we got one on retainer, and we're going after these guys. So they basically been scamming us and ripping us off. So I mean, if it all works out, we got a pretty good deal on the property. But because these people are scamming and committing fraud, we actually might get a better deal on the property. We don't know. But yeah. But anyways, that's the septic tank update. Like I said, I don't know what the problem is yet. And I don't know what the solution is yet. But I have reason to believe it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So that's good news. We were talking about just making a lagoon down here. But if the septic tank's not ruined, then we won't need to make a lagoon. That being said, I've always thought that it would be wise, instead of having a septic or having a leach field, you have your septic tank and then you have your septic tank dump out into a lagoon. That way, most of the solids, most of the waste is in the septic tank, not in the lagoon. And then the runoff goes into the lagoon, and then your frogs, snails, crawdads, turtles, and whatever else will clean that water after it's in the pond, so to speak. So we might end up doing that because we got a couple ideas of what we're gonna do. um, we're thinking about putting another mobile home spot up at the very top of the hill because this mobile home is only a 2 bedroom, it's kind of small for us. So we're thinking about getting a 3 bedroom mobile home, putting it at the top of the hill, and then we'll turn this one into a guest house. And then we'll probably put her camper down here where the camper spout is and potential camper hookups. Also for guest house. And then the mobile home that was here is on the other side of here. They drug it out and then left it sitting on the ground to rot. So I might level it out, clean it up, board up the windows that are missing, and turn that into a workshop, and then turn this into something as well. Then we got that camper over there. That is basically potentially just storage, or she was talking about incubating birds again. That camper right there, or even that mobile home over there, would be perfect for incubating birds. And then, but if we did that, she'd probably want to move it up the hill. So we'll probably just move this camper up the hill and use it for incubating. And then, who knows? We'll figure it out. The people that were here before left this place in a mess, but it's got a lot of potential. So, kind of like my Kaplinger property. George, I bought Kaplinger from George, and George is the guy who had this property before the last people had it. The last people bought it was buying it from George's estate, but then they fell into default, and now we're basically trying to get it out of default. And but I always told George before, I says, if these guys default on the loan, let me know. I want it. And I never thought I was going to get it, but here I am. So it's kind of cool. But anyhow, yeah. But I'll definitely take better care of it than the last people did. And George and Valerie, they say George and Valerie's spirits are still here, that they're haunting the place or whatever. And if they are, they will appreciate um, us taking better care of it than the last people did. So George and Valerie liked me, but Anyways, like I said, I bought the Kaplinger place. These people bought this place, and now I'm buying this place. Or Laura and I are buying this place. And the neighbor loves us. We love the neighbor. He's cool. Don't know about the neighbors on the other side. Haven't met them yet. But I hear the guy's cool. The wife, not so much. So, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Anyways, yeah. So right now I'm just flooding the septic tank so I can find out where it is potentially. The only other thing I could do is run a snake or something down there, and then run a metal detector, which would be the next step. If this doesn't work, then the next step is to run a metal rod or something down in there, and then use a metal detector. We got a friend who has a metal detector. We use a metal detector to try to figure out where it is. Yeah, this thing's been running for over an hour and it's still flowing. It's hard telling which direction it's going, but it looks like it's going that way. So I think it goes underneath this pad. Not 100%. And flows into the septic underneath where this is. Because like I said, it's been running for an hour and there's no water coming out of either pipe. And it's not backed up. It's still flowing. So the backup's got to be right there. I don't want to get down there and clean it out though, so I'm going to hire somebody to clean it out. But yeah, so chances are the septic's still good. That's good news for us. Meanwhile, this is going to be our temporary lagoon until we figure out what the problem is and how to fix it. But I'll just have to go get some more snails, get some more yeast, and keep plugging away at it. But anyways, so that's it for now. I just wanted to give an update. So we may or may not have this property in our name in the next 2 months. That's about what it's going to take. The property's already going into foreclosure as we speak. We've been paying the Delaney's, but they haven't been paying. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have mentioned their names. Anyways, we've been paying them, but they haven't been paying the estate. And they haven't been paying the bank. And then recently we started paying the estate, but it's too late. The bank's already gone into banks already started foreclosure paperwork. But the other people, they were supposed to be paying the estate, but they weren't. They were taking our money and pocketing it. We were also giving them money for the mobile home, but they weren't paying the mobile home payments either. They were pocketing that. And and that shed that's got the power box in it. I don't know if they paid that off yet or not, but the people came out to try and repo that and a trailer that they had bought as well. So, and then we also bought a UTV from them. We're still waiting for the title for. They still haven't produced a title, so we assume that they took the money for that and never paid it off either. Past predicts future, right? You know, these habits, these patterns. And now, now it appears, because they bought this owner finance and then sold it to us owner finance, but they're taking the money from us and not paying the other people. Well, now there's another property that they have in Nevada that they're owner financing from someone else, And now they're selling it to someone else also. So we assume that maybe, is that moisture? We assume that maybe they're repeating the same thing that they were doing here, over there. So they may be taking money from the other people and not paying the people that their owner. Yeah, it's complicated, but you understand. So, yeah, that's what it looks like they're doing. And they might have done this before, just never got caught. But you know, we got a lawyer to go after them now. So we're gonna get some resolution. It might take 2 months. Might take longer, but we're gonna hopefully get some resolution. Meanwhile, hopefully, maybe I'll find the septic tank between now and then, and then when we get the property in our name, we can get the septic tank fixed. Because we're not putting any more money into this property until it's in our name. We've been putting labor into the property, doing little things here and there that we want done, cleaning it up, processing some of these dead trees, things that don't cost a lot of money, just a little extra time. But we quit putting money into the property because we don't want to lose that money, you know. It looks like, you know, we got it in the bag, but, you know, we could be wrong. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep you updated, but yeah, they damaged a lot of trees on this property. So I got a lot of trees I got to cut out. And then they did a lot of half-ass work. Another thing that they did half-ass that I got to fix, we got to pay to fix. Now I don't know where the original power to this well was. I believe it was over here in the carport because the mobile home was here. They put the shed there and they put that power box there, and they ran the power from that power box to the shed. I mean, to the well house. And here's the conduit. Here's where the conduit stops. There's no more pipe there. So they only put pipe in the driveway, and that's it. They didn't do the pipe all the way up like they should have done. So that wire could get compromised, and so we gotta basically redo that. So we gotta have somebody come in here, retrench that, and rerun the wire and run the conduit all the way from the well to wherever the power box is. So yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and then check this out. Here's all the wires for the power box going to and from wherever. So here's the main power coming from the pole, and here's the power going to the well. They totally half-assed did it. Whoever they hired to do it did a half-assed job. If they didn't do it themselves, whoever did a really shitty job. So we're gonna hire somebody to come out and do it right. Ron's Electric. His name's not Ron though. I think that was his dad's name. But anyways, he inherited or took over the business, but his name is Darren, and he's really cool, and he does a good job. Um, so if you're in the area and you need a good electrician, look up Ron's Electric. He's amazing. So that's who we'll hire to have this done right. So, and I might actually just not have the power box in that shed because Laura wants to move that shed. So I might move the power box over here in this carport where it probably should be in the first place. and then uh, and then run the power from there to other places. But that's not the power to the mobile home. The power to the mobile home has its own power, and it basically taps into here as well. So I don't know. We'll have to figure all that out. But if we have Ron come out and do all that, we'll probably have power hooked up to that shed as well. Might actually put the power in that shed instead of that shed. Move that shed up to the top of the hill. Because there used to be a driveway here, like a circle drive, connect the neighbor's property to our property. I don't know if I really want to do that again, but the neighbor liked having a driveway connecting the two properties. But see, that property over there used to be a relative of the people who lived here, and that's why that was like that. So all three properties were owned by the same family, just different members of the family. And so there was a driveway going around the pond, going over the hill, connecting that property to this property. And then there's a driveway there that was connecting this property to that property. But the previous owners put that shed in front of that driveway, so blocking that access, which is fine, I guess. I don't know. But the neighbor kind of got offended by that, but I don't understand why. But then again, I think what it was because he had a car delivered. He works on cars and small engines and stuff like that. So the guy dropped the car over there and doesn't really have a good spot to turn around, maybe. And so he could have, coulda, woulda, shoulda been able to come out this way and then go back out the driveway. So I can see that point. But I don't know. It's weird. But there used to be a driveway there. We might still keep it open because the neighbor's cool. We like the neighbor and he likes us. So it might be a good way for us to connect the two properties because we do want to put fencing up because we do want to run farm animals here, mostly sheep. But I'm going to have the goats on the other property and run the sheep on this property. And then sheep, pigs, and fowl, whatever Laura wants, because this is pretty much going to be her property to do whatever she wants to do with. I'm going to fix up the house next door. Maybe fix this up. And, she'll run the dogs. They'll be running the property to protect the property and whatnot. And then I'll have my goats over on my 15 acres over in Stockton. And maybe a couple pigs, maybe a couple sheep too, just to eat some of the stuff that I have some weathered rams over there to eat some of the stuff that the goats won't eat. But and I'll probably just keep all the ewes and the ram and some other weathered rams over here as well to protect the babies. But yeah, this we'll probably just have cattle and small cattle like Dexter cattle and sheep over here. Maybe some Dexter cattle over on the other property. Um, and we'll figure it out. But we got 30 acres here, 15 over there. So, yeah. Anyways, I guess that's it. I'm just going to keep plugging at this septic thing and try to figure out what's wrong with it and what the solution might be. Oh, it looks like it's maybe starting to back up. Maybe. Which means the leach field should be overflowing here soon. So that's good news. All right, I'm going to go try to figure this out. You'd think that'd be pushing out too, but it's not. I don't know. Maybe running all that water down that tube might unplug whatever's plugging this up too. Who knows? We'll see. I got all day to figure it out. I go back to work tomorrow. So, all right, bye.